Hi there, Scorpio, and welcome back to another edition of Astrological Moments. Today we're going to be talking about the Pluto movement from Aquarius from Capricorn into the sign of Aquarius, and the big impact it is making on Scorpios. This is affecting Scorpio sun signs, rising signs, and moon signs to a degree. So it is important for all Scorpios to listen up to what I have to say about what is going on. I think I'm a really good person to be discussing this matter, considering I am double Scorpio, Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon. So this transit is really affecting me in a major way. It took a little while for me to make this video, as I said from the beginning about the Pluto movement. It was going to be affecting the signs of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Scorpio as well. Capricorn and Aquarius were directly impacted by it because it was moving out of Capricorn into, so those two signs were very much affected by it. Every single sign is affected by what just happened here, the big Pluto shift. But the reason it affects Scorpio so much, Pluto is our ruler, and so we had a big transition happening, and it affected us because we are such an intense sign. Pluto is an intense planet, so of course it was going to affect Scorpios in a very special way, and it has. I can speak honestly for myself that this has been a transit that has thrown me for a loop a little bit. I knew it was coming, like many of you. We knew that this shift was happening. However, when you're personally going through it, it can be a little bit unnerving. I know it has been for myself. Now, let me explain something first about Scorpios during the last 15 years since 2008, when it moved into your third house, into Capricorn, which is the third house. Now, this affected Scorpios in a lot of ways because it was governing subject matter such as our community and people close to us, our communication, things like that. So therefore, when we were in a situation over the last 15 years, a lot of Scorpios were very much involved with communities, their own personal communities, as well as maybe communities online and so forth. And during the 15 years, communications probably went up and down like a yo-yo. There were times when the communication was coming across beautifully, other times where it was not, and it could have caused major issues with the people around you. Remember, Pluto is a transformative energy. So what it does is it brings things to the forefront in order to transform them. But Scorpio, now it has moved into your fourth house. So other things are going to be of interest to you in terms of and remember, now it's going to be there for 20 years. This is 2 decades where it will be in the fourth house. Now, when Pluto is just like any other planets, there's times when it's going forward and then there's times when it's going backwards. So it's going to affect us in different ways. And the whole reason for it is to transform this area of your life. Now, we have been shifted into a time where our focus, let's just say our focus, is moving more towards things such as family lineage. It's moving towards our home and those types of things. So that's what's going to be where the emphasis is going to be. Sometimes the struggles will be in those areas because, again, you know, the retro times. Now, if any of you Scorpios out there aren't feeling this energy right now, remember, we're still in the early degrees of this transit. So it could take a while before it, you know, fully, you know, reaches all the Scorpios out there. So don't be surprised, don't be alarmed. Like me, it hit me right away. This transit moved January 20th. And when it was first happening, even before it moved into Aquarius officially, I remember feeling a little bit like the ground beneath me had been shaken. I felt like I didn't know what to expect. Like Aquarius is, you know, kind of the energy of the unexpected. So for Scorpios, that may not sit very well, you know, sudden changes and unexpected situations happening. Also, Scorpio being a fixed sign and sort of liking the idea of routine and everything, at least we know where everything is and when our foundation is firmly built. Now, we've had that in the Capricorn years prior to, but now the ground has shifted beneath our feet. The energy has changed. Things we were focused on 5 years ago, we're certainly not focused on anymore, or that energy is waning more and more every day. And as the planet gets more and more degrees into Aquarius, the less that energy is going to matter. Now, it's a good time for Scorpios to let go of anything that happened back then that was part of the learning process, and focus in now on what it is we need to learn in the fourth house. These types of things, like I said before, could be about family. For some of you, it could be dealing with family issues that go back to the past. Now, I'm not talking about current family issues, although those things can arise from time to time, especially when we have some of the smaller planets in Aquarius. But what I'm talking about here is the deep ancestral issues. A lot of Scorpios I've been talking to, as well as myself, have been having flashbacks to childhood, to questions maybe that were never answered. I feel that very strongly that Pluto during this transit will help us resolve a lot of things from our ancestry, our childhood, that we never understood before. I think we're going to be looking at it now in a new light. Again, it's a transformative energy. So we may be having these flashbacks. Some of them could be really uncomfortable, but they're not there to torment us. They are there for life lessons, to maybe delve into it. Scorpios are natural at researching and delving into deep, dark corners of things. So this is kind of a natural for Scorpio. Just move with that energy when it comes, and learn to process this information from a new light. Kind of like in the tarot card, the Hanged Man, when they're just sort of looking, suspended in time, looking at something from a different, brand new perspective. So I think this is what's happening with Scorpios and Pluto as far as childhood memories may go. We are looking at delving into the nooks and crannies of our childhood and the things that maybe got stuck back in our subconscious back then. It's a good time, on that note, to perhaps seek out any kind of therapy, such as, you know, hypnotherapy or therapist itself, like whatever is natural or whatever your instincts are drawing you towards. This might be a good time. You might really, really be able to understand things from a different perspective by seeking that out. Others of you more spiritually minded people, like myself, I delve into meditation and use those type of tools. I may try hypnotherapy or other types of metaphysical therapy that are now available. So it's that kind of thing, because for me, I don't like that feeling of the ground shifting beneath my feet. I like to know where I stand, and this is interesting energy. I mean, it's a little bit scary, but you know, fear can very easily be transformed into excitement, and I'm in the process of doing that now, taking that fear and mutating it into excitement and say, hey, this is a brand new energy. You know, quite frankly, I was getting a little tired of the old energy, and it was getting a little boring, you know, especially towards the end of the Pluto and Capricorn transit. But now I feel like it's a brand new energy. It's just that fear of the unknown, you know, that we're dealing with. A lot of us are dealing with right now. Although I do believe it will be a very good time, especially in the beginning of this transit, because there's still so much we will get to learn and develop our personalities through it. So that's always a good thing. Now, on the topic of home, when it comes to home, fourth house does rule the home that we live in. Now, this is interesting because there could be major changes for Scorpio over the next 20 years. Some Scorpios will be making serious decisions concerning their home. Some will be undergoing major renovations to the home. Others of Scorpios may decide to get into buying and selling real estate, you know, again, a home situation. Others of you could be inheriting family property that you know, just suddenly decide to sell your home and move into. Others of you could be dealing with real estate matters of family property, things like that. All of this stuff will be coming to the forefront over the next 20 years. And also, when it comes to the home, a lot of Scorpios will maybe decide now to either work from home, develop home businesses. It could be changing the way you do things in the home. Maybe before you were not very sociable, and now in this energy you've decided that you want to have maybe renovate your place or move to a place that is more conducive to having people over and gatherings. Others of you could be the opposite, where you're used to doing all of that. You could be looking at maybe downsizing to a more private place. So it's going to be different for everybody, because depending upon your needs and where you've been before, it's going to make a big difference. A lot of you could be opening up your home to a home business, maybe starting maybe a daycare center or something like that, that takes place in the home. Home businesses, any kind of home businesses, will be positively aspected during this time. Now, getting back to, I was going to make a point about the family. Yes, the family situations. I just remembered that a lot of you who follow the channel watch the Scorpio readings as of late. There has been a lot of the big reveals, big secrets being revealed. Well, you know what? With this transit, I can definitely see that happen. If it hasn't happened already, for me, that has happened a little bit, and I expect to be seeing a little bit more of that going forward, where things that I never knew about parents, grandparents, and so forth, the Pandora's box could be, you know, shattering wide open for a lot of people, a lot of Scorpios. A lot of Scorpios could be looking into their genealogy, you know, such as, you know, checking out their ancestry and so forth like that. So that's all. These are all really interesting points. I just wanted to make this video, although it took me quite a while to find the words to explain it, because like I said, I have been feeling like my feet are off the ground, a little bit like I'm floating out into space. I'm in uncharted territory, and I don't feel like I have too much of a map and navigation system here. So I'm winging it, and the rest of you are going to have to wing it for a little while until the energy starts to settle. Remember, we're in the early degrees of Aquarius, so it will retrograde back into Capricorn for a brief period in late summer, early fall, and then move back into Aquarius at the end of the year, full speed ahead for the next 20 years. Now, as it starts gaining in solidifying that energy, you know, going from 0 degrees to 5 degrees to 10 degrees, once it clicks into that sort of pocket, I feel that we will now actually be able to navigate things maybe a lot easier. I do believe overall the Aquarius energy for the globe, as well as Scorpios and all the other signs, will be a different type of energy, and in a lot of ways easier to navigate, period. It's a lot lighter, the energy, and it's just about different things. And it's about communities and people coming together. So I think this energy will fit very well with the Scorpio energy, and I wish you all the best of luck going forward. I love you all, my Scorpios, and I want to thank you very much for tuning in and watching this video. I would also like to hear from you in the comment section below. What are your experiences as a Scorpio? I've spoken to a few of them already in the last few weeks, and this is what, you know, I could see where they were coming from, because being a Scorpio, I could totally understand that energy. So let us know in the comment section, what are you feeling? What are you going through? Any changes? Scorpios are very perceptive. Are you picking up on that perception of a shift, a major shift? And if so, do you feel good about it? Do you feel a little like me, like you're floating around trying to find a map? I feel like I'm playing a video game sometimes. Where's the map? Where's the map? So anyway, best of luck, much love. Star Lord is signing off. See you soon.